Yes, loud and lively. Hello and welcome again to the Footy Show as Carlton and Footscray celebrate memorable wins. The Blues making it 8 on end in front of 85,000 at the MCG, and the Bulldogs marking Doug Hawkins' record-breaking match with a tremendous victory over Geelong. Plenty to get through today, and endeavouring to do that, the Footy Show panel. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Thanks,
and
Maxwell. Max, about leading behind you there, I was putting down something on the ground.
You couldn't wait to get on, could you?
No, I'm sorry.
I think you're doing the old one-cheek sneak.
Well, that wasn't worry. You've been a tagger all your life, Sam.
Now, Ted, what I want to know right from the start, Ted, if I may, did you have a few drinks last night under the pretence you were happy Doug had beaten the record?
I had a couple of drinks with Doug after the game. It actually took him a long time to get up into the president's room, but I had a couple. Then he was besieged by
Ted,
fans.
Let's cut the crap.
I said besieged, didn't I?
That's good.
You don't pick me up
just
on
said
the
it very
show.
nicely.
They get what they get from me.
Let's cut the crap, Ted. You're more than annoyed.
There's no crap, son, pardon?
You're more than annoyed that
so
he's taken the
ridiculous.
record from you.
Why should I be annoyed?
You've
Just tell
gone
me.
through this giant sort of charade of laughing and waving to everyone. Nothing has stuck in your gullet more than him taking the record from you.
Here comes the jealousy again from you. After 4 marriages, I thought you would wake up about this.
And as
Don't
always,
be nasty.
Ted,
Wait a minute.
as always,
what are we going to talk about?
25% out.
We are going to just put the spotlight on Dermott for a moment. Lovely that Sydney have got a bye. Great for you to come into the panel, Dermott. A run in the twos yesterday. It must have been exhilarating.
Yes, a run in the Magoos. We obviously had the bye, so what is Lou doing up the back there?
Hey, listen, Dermy, what about humming a few bars for the Swan song, son?
A little one. What about the theme song, Dermy? You know those words.
Hey, God, he's giving you a nice payout.
I can guarantee one thing, Max.
Mate.
Yeah, I saw that. He's
there was
entitled to
no
his
cameras
opinion.
there, and he was captain.
You were
and he could be captain for the year.
An exemplary team.
And played in the ruck.
And ruck.
Scrupulously.
Well, how did you go, Derm? Did you get a kick?
All right.
One hand pass and 2 kicks he had.
What were the stats? What were the stats?
One hand pass and 2 kicks.
Yeah, quality stats, not quantity stats.
15, 16 possessions.
We're going to move
4
on.
jump.
We are going to move on, Ted. I need to just quickly update yesterday's results, and we had a few surprises too. The Blues, well, they were never really troubled by Collingwood in the blockbuster at the MCG, winning by 43 points, while it was Dougie Day out at Western Oval, where the Dogs rolled the Pussycats by 28 points. Melbourne revived their finals hopes with an unexpected easy win over Hawthorn, and North ended a losing sequence of 3 matches by thumping St Kilda, despite, I think, the return of Tony Lockett. But what a day for Doug Hawkins. And it was a very emotional day out there. You gave him the big bear hug. Ted, a tear trickled down a few cheeks out there.
And a
it was a
flick pass.
wonderful day for football and Footscray. Why would you ever play a home game away from Western Oval?
Particularly next week when they play Collingwood. That's a big match for Footscray next week, because Collingwood are not playing as well as people expected them to at this stage of the year. But yesterday was sensational for Doug Hawkins. It was his day. He played his 322nd game. There was a huge amount of people out there on the ground. There's Doug with his 2 little girls. One of his girls got number 27 on there, Super McPherson's number, as he broke through the banner of the ground. There's 23,000 people. There he is coming over. Geez, he nearly broke my neck there. And
He broke his hand.
he had a few tears in his eyes. He said, come for a run with me.
This is better than grand
Oh,
flick pass coming out,
There's a flick pass.
Lucky it
there
wasn't
he is,
heavy,
Doug.
Ted.
In actual fact, he picked up 20-odd possessions and was very serviceable to Footscray yesterday. He and McPherson did very, very well when they got on the ground.
So was it just pure emotion, or they had good players all over the ground?
In actual fact, Alan Joyce asked me into the rooms yesterday to hear the coach's address, and whilst in there, you could see that the Footscray players were psyched up for something big.
What did you think of the way Joyce spoke to the troops?
Well, I don't think he had all that much to say to psych them up to win, because before they got into his room, they went through their warm-up exercises, and they were pretty hot to trot, I tell you that. And when he got them in there, Joycey stood and he spoke for about 5 minutes only, and they were ready to go. They were ready for action.
How different was the address Joyce gave to the Footscray side as opposed to when you used to coach the Dogs, Teddy?
Completely different.
What, is English this
No
time? was it?
expletives.
No, it wasn't so much the English as Dermy will tell you. He's a very well-educated man.
Doesn't
Joyce.
swear.
He doesn't
No,
swear.
I never heard him swear.
And you used to swear when you gave an
Yes, I
address.
did, didn't you?
No.
You did. I played against you, and you did.
You didn't hear me swear.
Yes, I did.
He's obviously got to the young
So
blokes.
they got to the young blokes, and they gave young Costa from Adelaide the job on Gary Hocking, kept him out of business completely, and he said, it doesn't matter if you don't, get a kick yourself. That was a beautiful hip and shoulder by Wallace to Hickmott there. Nothing wrong with that at all. And of course, Grant up at full forward did a great job for Footscray, and Atkins also. But the guy that surprised everybody was Credial. There he is, getting an open-hander from Gary Ablett there. He was pretty frustrated, Gary.
And was he reported for that?
No, he was not. And Gary Abbott's missed a goal 15 to 20 metres out, which is quite unbelievable from everybody's point of view, thinking that Gary Abbott never misses those. But Footscray had winners all over the ground. Geelong took Barnes off the ground again early and put Hanley into the ruck. Why, I'll never know. Geelong had very, very few winners, and Footscray lifted all around the ground. At one stage, Footscray had Wind and Liberatore on the fence for most of the last quarter.
Couple of Brownlow medalists,
sitting on the fence, and if that's not confidence, this is good play by Grant. Got over to Collinook, and Collinook, he showed a lot of magic yesterday. Kicked 4 goals for Footscray and was a very good player. So was Cameron on centre wing. When they put him in as a ruck rover, he became
Try this again, Ted.
Try what?
I'm going to try this again. Week after week, ask you this.
Stone didn't play.
Geelong.
And Geelong had 9 players yesterday who did not have 10 possessions, and they had 11 players who didn't have 12 possessions. Now that's pretty hard for any coach to ask for a winning combination when they don't handle the ball as often as what they should.
You knew he was going to ask about the coach.
I'm waiting for it with bated breath.
I'm going to ask you about Geelong getting into the final 8. They've even got 2 more teams now that they can relax themselves to get in. But will they get in, Geelong?
Well, I've got my doubts. And any Geelong supporter that was there yesterday, knowing full well that they've got Carlton coming up and Hawthorn, would seriously think to themselves, we're not going to make the finals this year. And when you've got a final 8, and with that side that Geelong have at the moment, who played so well early in the year and didn't change their back line for about 4 to 5 weeks, thinking they were very settled. I say Geelong cannot make the finals at this stage.
You're going to camp blind,
and that came also from our special commentsman. You know Brian Brusfield and K-Rock. Now he said, and it takes a lot for him to say it, I don't think they can make the finals.
So what would you like to put your finger on as the problem, Ted?
Well, I just think the lack of attitude and application by the players. And there's a few players out of form completely. And it's a, pardon?
Is there?
Is there?
Yeah.
Is there? What's is there?
I said is there.
Is there what?
Is there what?
Is there?
Who's speaking
On
English
that
now?
note, gentlemen...
Well, I just want to finish off by saying, Footscray will make the finals. You didn't ask me about that. You take a lot away from Footscray.
I did nothing of the
Footscray have
sort.
not defeated Geelong in 12 matches until yesterday.
Will Malcolm Blight be there next year, Ted?
I don't know if he'll be there or not.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I've got no idea.
Well, go on, you're
What do you think?
What do you think?
No,
What do you think? There we go.
I don't
might
see the
find
games
out after
every
the
week,
break.
Ted.
This is Football with Attitude. We're joined by Carlton's best player in that big win over the Pies. Stay with us.